Good afternoon, Varsha and Shiva. You all made it. I'm so happy that you are here for the class, and this is the first day after lockdown. So cheers to you, God be with you all. And we hope we will be having few more students coming in the upcoming days. So can before we could go into the practicals, let me give an overview of how the practical classes are going to be. We will have a lot of lecture sessions. Followed by that, we will have activities where you will be involved in the activities. You will be asked to solve a problem in the board so that the others can learn from you. Others will ask questions and then you will be able to give some solutions to it, or you will be able to answer that. The reason being, number one, confidence is very important in solving a particular case study or maybe in analyzing a particular situation, and then presenting it boldly is again important. Where these are certain qualities of front office personnel, and we are all going to take up positions like management trainee, and then we all will be taking up some big positions in the future, for which standing in front of few people and talking is something very important. And this confidence is what is going to help you when you go to the industry also. Because in industry you will have to have analytical skills, decision making skills, spontaneous communication and everything. And front office is the right department that can give you all these exposures. So moving further, let us recollect what we have discussed in the previous class. Can Shiva or Varsha look into your notebooks and recollect and tell me what we had discussed in the previous class? Okay, very good. Varsha is right. We did elements of yield management. Elements of yield management. So we saw that there are 5 different elements of yield management. What is the first one? I'm sure you can remember Shiva. You had been an active student in the college. And Varsha, yes? Okay, the first one is group room sales. And what was the second one? What is the opposite of group? Correct, you are right. Transient room sales. Do you remember? We had discussed a lot of things on group room sales and transient room sales. And then the third one, food and beverage activity. So I am sure in the last class we had discussed about all these 3. Group room sales, transient room sales and food and beverage activity. These 3 were covered. To recollect, we saw something about what are the various group data that we need to take, and then what kind of regular groups come into our hotel, what kind of non-regular group that walks into our hotel. We also saw something called group booking pace, group booking lead time, and so on. And then in transient room sales, we saw that transient room sales is very important, like how groups are also important for us. Right? Can you tell me one reason why transient room sales are very important? I have already mentioned that transient is a single guest, yes, is an FIT. So why is it so that he's very important for us? Will he be given any discount? Generally, no. Very right, Shiva rightly said, Varsha too. So he will not be given any kind of discount, and he is a potential guest who will be given the rack rate. So it's very important for us. And then we also saw food and beverage activity, how banquet halls plus rooms are taken, and then based on that we will actually look into the choices of making reservation for a particular group. So if we give a choice to you, let's say there are two groups who would like to come to you. One group would like to use only the rooms, and one group would like to use the rooms plus banquet halls. From your opinion, what do you think, which group can give you the best of the profits? The second one. Okay, Varsha also supports the point, and Shiva also is strongly recommending that only the second group should be given. Why? Why is the reason? Very rightly said, Shiva, because the second group would like to use the rooms as well as the banquet hall. So it's a double revenue for us. And that's the reason why we go for food and beverage activity as one of the important elements of yield management. Right? So now the fourth one is local and area-wide activities. Local and area-wide activities. What do you mean by local? The word local. Nearby. Very good. So the word local refers to anything that surrounds us, anything that is nearby the hotel or our premises. So here, for successful yield management, for a successful revenue management, whatever activities are happening in the city play a major role as far as boosting the revenue is concerned. That's why we say local and area-wide activities are extremely important. Like say for example, there may be a convention happening in a nearby place or maybe in a nearby hotel. So that's the activity. And how do you think a convention that is happening somewhere is going to affect your business? How do you think somewhere someone is organizing a convention? How do you think that activity can affect our revenue directly or indirectly? Is there any clue that we can get out of it? Okay, well said, Varsha. So people who attend this activity may consider staying in our property if we market our property in the right way. So we do not know exactly what activity is being proposed, but for a front office manager, it's very important, or for a revenue manager, it's very important that these local and area-wide activities should be in his list. Now, technology plays a major role. You can Google it out. You have your friends who can let you know what is happening in the city, and there are a lot of common reports, business magazines which will tell you what is going to happen in which month, which company, which convention is being probably taken up. If you take Chennai, we have the Chennai Trade Center. Have you ever been to Chennai Trade Center? No, you haven't got an opportunity. So that's a business hub where all the conventions and all the kind of conferences of this sort will happen. So now, as a front office manager, how should we be active in grabbing those guests? Right? So we will make sure that we visit the websites, we look into the organizers, we will see who's the person who is organizing all those conventions. And we try to contact them, we try to promote our property, our rooms, we try to negotiate and bargain for suitable prices and we encourage their guests to come and stay with us. So this is how we are actually affected. Now why do we say we are affected? If we could get those guests, it's well and good. If not, we lose the share. Somebody else is going to take them. The guests are going to stay elsewhere. So if you don't talk to the guests, if you don't communicate to the guests, if you don't hit them right at the exact time with exact product and pricing strategies, we may miss out on this. And another important area where you can identify that there is a kind of activity happening is there may be a sudden rush into the city. All the hotel rooms may be full. You may see that there are a lot of talks about a particular happening in the city. You may see some big VIPs coming into the city. So all those things are an indication that there is something happening in the city. So a front office manager's job is not all that easy. It's a very crucial job. Crucial in the sense you can easily miss grabbing the business if you are not alert. So one important quality that we need to imbibe or which we need to inculcate is have an eye for detail. Normally we say housekeepers should have eye for detail. Isn't it? You would have studied. Look everywhere and then you see where the mistake is or the error is and what needs to be done, what needs to be changed. But I would say that even a front office manager should have double the portion of eye for detail. Because a housekeeper looks only within the hotel, but a front office manager needs to look something outside the hotel also. What's happening outside? What I can grab from the common market that is available, and that's very difficult. So that we call it as local and area-wide activity. So if a front office manager is successful enough in tapping not all the businesses, but some of the businesses that the activities could give, then he is a successful front office manager. He can definitely contribute to the success of yield management in the sense the revenue will be more, occupancies will be more, the profit that we can foresee will be more. And then finally we have something called special events. Special events. So what are these special events? What are special events? Yes, Shiva. Correct. So as you see in the slide, concerts, festivals, sporting events, so all these are classified as special events. What do you mean by concerts? A pop singer comes and then he performs in the city. Or maybe some rock star comes and then he conducts any kind of, or maybe a traditional dance like maybe Bharatanatyam or a Nagin dance or those kind of dances also, Kathakali or Punjabi. So all those are dances that probably we can consider as a special event. Festivals. Is there any destination known for festivals? Okay, Holi, Kerala Onam, and then the Kite Festival. Kite Festival. The places like Ahmedabad, even Rajasthan, they celebrate this one. So we have a lot of these kind of, India especially have got these kind of festivals which are very prominent and is a tourist product. So a front office manager should calculate what would be the incoming tourists or the influx of tourists to a particular destination because of these special events. Similarly, the sporting events, especially the abroad countries, if you could see, sporting events are much popular and then it can attract a lot of tourists or maybe the viewers. Can you give some examples of sporting events? Olympics, right? Olympics, and then Commonwealth Games, very good. What else? Okay, FIFA, Wimbledon, French Open or Australian Open or anything of that sort. So all these are called as your sporting events and that is classified as special events. I would like to give an example in fact. In the year 2012 or 13 we hosted the World Chess Championship in Chennai. Do you have any idea as to which hotel hosted it? It was Hyatt Regency Chennai. So we had the world players like Vishwanathan Anand and Magnus Carlsen. So for which Magnus Carlsen came all the way from his hometown to check whether the hotel is fit enough for him. The food, the hygiene, the rooms, and then the access from the airport, the safety, security and everything. But Hyatt was very, very smart enough in finishing the deal. So they would have earned a lot of amount. Their revenue would have been really high and their revenue performance would have been exactly measured. But imagine the other hotels, they missed it. We also have so many other hotels, Taj or ITC or maybe so many other hotels which they could not grab this. So it's a teamwork. The sales team or the front office team or the revenue management team, they all have to watch closely as to what is happening and then they close the deal in no matter of time so that they get the maximum business. So now these special events are extremely important. We need to give importance to it. We will not rely only upon the reservations that we get, whatever bookings that we get to the hotel, we will not rely only upon them. But then our eyes should be wide open to grab these kind of special events also. Even if we get a small share of those reservations, we increase our occupancies. We'll be able to sell our guest rooms and we will have new guests with us. Who knows, these new guests can also be our loyal guests. They may also turn up to be our regular guests as well. So these special events can be held in a hotel or anywhere in the vicinity. Like games doesn't happen inside a hotel, it will be held away from the hotel. So, and then we need to take advantage of this. How do a front office manager would take advantage of this special event? You can restrict your discount. Why does it say restrict your discount? Is restricting the discount good or giving discount a better option? As far as here we use the word restrict discount, but don't you see that it doesn't go well with what we learned? We have learned to give discounts. It says restrict discount, which means don't give discount. What is your opinion? To give discount is good or not to give discount is good? Either way. So that's why we understand that there is a huge demand for our product. Our rooms are in huge demand. Because there is a special event happening, the supply is less, the demand is more. And we understand that a lot of people are asking for our rooms. So we try to encash this particular situation. We do not want to give discounts, rather we restrict the discounts and we know that anyway they cannot go anywhere, they have to come to us. So it doesn't say don't give discount, it only says restrict your discounts, which means give discounts to a very, very minimum level, not to a larger extent. So that we keep in mind. Another important strategy that we can actually implement is implement a minimum length of stay. What does it mean? Can you guess what is this? Implement a minimum length of stay. So what we do is we make sure the guest covers minimum number of days in our hotel if he comes as part of the special event. So let's say for example the guest has got some event on coming Sunday. So we don't take the booking only for the Sunday. We say, sir, you have to stay on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you want the room on Sunday, you have to cover Friday, Saturday and Sunday, then only you will get the room on Sunday. That is called as implementing a minimum length of stay. So of course you may wonder as to this is too harsh, this is too rude, that we are forcing the guest to stay compulsorily, that there is no choice. If you want, you stay 3 days, if not, no. Now that is an extreme step we take when we know that reservations are just pouring in our property and we have a lot of demand for our supply. So in that way we try to take this opportunity. Now there is only one alert. There is something we should be very clear that you may miss some frequent travelers. In heading to attracting unknown guests who have come for the events and special activities and so on, what do? We try to restrict discounts, we try to implement minimum length of stay, and finally we may lose some frequent travelers. Guests who are frequent are happy to come to us, but then when we impose something, they may not feel so happy. Why? Why do they don't feel happy? When you impose something on a frequent traveler especially. So basically they feel that that special privilege is not being given to them. When I am going to hotel plenty of times and when I am very frequent to this particular hotel, why is it so that I am not encouraged a special privilege? Why am I looked at like any other guest? So every guest will have this in his mind. When they start staying in a particular hotel, they are very comfortable with the hotel and then they feel that they belong to the particular property. And when we come up in the name of yield management or revenue management and then when we implement something, there are possibilities that guests may be, the frequent guests may be affected because of it. So there comes again the front office manager who needs to skillfully handle this situation in making sure that he segregates the frequent guests and does not impose those things to the frequent guests. Do we need the frequent guests or we can let him go off somewhere? We need him, right? Because we also have worked a lot to bring him back, and then it's not just like that the rates alone. He's happy with the services and we want this patronage forever. We want this continued support forever. For which we need to be quite flexible in terms of our rates and services and so on. So these are some special events, and these special events tend to impact a lot. So this covers the elements of yield management. So can Varsha read the first two elements of yield management by looking into the whiteboard? Yes, please sit down. Shiva, can you read third, fourth and fifth? Yes, thank you, Shiva. Please be seated. So, I encourage all of you to look into certain other published articles and magazines related to yield management, which can give you even more clearer idea as to how hotels in its own way would promote their revenue. Now always remember that the elements of yield management is different from hotel to hotel. Not all the hotels can employ the same strategy, but this would be the general base. From this roots out your various aspects of element of yield management. Alright, any doubts or any points that you would like to add in this? Alright, thank you.